Day 5, and it is cold. So we're out again. We went a different direction this time. So good morning. We're out at Talala Trail at Cedar Hill State Park. We went a different way this time, but we have weight loss goals. We have endurance goals. We have consistency goals that we're trying to stay focused on. Been easy to stay off in the bed. We need the holidays. You know, we can be sitting back eating for the holidays and then saying January 1st we'll start, because that's what traditionally we were told we were supposed to do. Celebrate and wait to the first, and then we get busy with our goals and think about our future. But when you're caught up in traditions, you're right, that is what you're supposed to do. But when you're caught up in change and transformative mindsets and wanting to do better about your future, then you'll take the pain of now for the ease of the future. Oh, I like that. Got me all excited. So we're out now and just trying to work hard for that change, because nothing is promised but tomorrow. Whether you're in it and doing better, it's up to you. You know, our life is not promised tomorrow, but guess what? Whether we're in it or not, tomorrow's going to be here. And so it's just what you're doing now that will change your tomorrow for the better. You know, I got some good stuff going on right now. I like the way I'm talking myself. I'm getting excited now. I want to go back and do something, because that's what life is about. Working for a better future, if not for yourself. If you do have somebody else that you're involved with, if you do have some kids, some grandkids, some neighbors, some community members that you're trying to help, then the kids, grab the life jacket for yourself first. Put the mask on if you're on the airplane first. Then once you got all those things on, you can help everybody else. But you can't help anybody else when you yourself is in need. All right? Somebody out there fishing early this morning. I like it. Something I would love to be doing myself. At some point, that day will come. Good morning, everyone. We're out walking again, hiking for a better future. Hey, good morning. Cool. Maybe kids? I believe that's what it says. Good morning. Thank you. Yes, we're out this morning trying to get it in before the ball drops, because we know that the future starts today. The resolution starts today. We don't have to wait for New Year's to have a resolution. We can have today's resolution, which is going to make our New Year's resolution even better if we start today. Even when you're cooking, and this just came to my mind, even when I'm cooking, I can make the best meal, but if I'm prepared before I start that meal, if I got all my recipes together, I got all the stuff I need, all the ingredients, so when I start cooking, I'm already prepared. And so that's what we are here doing now, that we know our New Year is going to be exciting. So we would rather come out now. If we plan on losing weight in the New Year's, why not get our recipe together? Why not get our gear together, which is getting healthy now? And so that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing now. So thank you all for joining us. Truly appreciate the love and speaking. And even if you drop by for a second, I appreciate you stopping by, because we really want to grow this page. That's really one of my personal goals, is to become a more effective coach, a more effective speaker. And so with you all coming on and spending this time with me really helps. And for the it really helps with this going towards my future business. I have a job right now, and I love my job, no mistake. But I would love to do this full time, where I'm encouraging and talking to people full time every day. That's what my passion is. I love helping people transform their lives. Why? Because somebody did it for me. I had a little checkered past there for a minute. People say, well, it wasn't nothing I done. It wasn't my fault. Regardless of what happened, there was a point in my life where things were kind of sour. But it was the people who stayed with me and encouraged me. And I went from zero to, and some of y'all might say, that ain't nothing, but a 5-figure job. Now, I keep saying this every day. When you're down to nothing and you get something, that's something to be proud about. That's something to be proud of. And don't let anybody take that from you because you're not making it 6 or 7 figures yet. Good morning, Lori. Thank you for joining. Thank you for saying hello. Yeah, we're out on a 2.3 mile hike this morning. And that's my wife in front of me. And I know she's probably thinking, hey, you didn't say that. But yeah, we're going to try to do the whole 2.3 today. And thank you all for joining. Like I said, I'm really starting my transformative coaching. And so I really appreciate y'all coming on and just showing the love and speaking. That's really helping. Good morning. Thank you for the love. I really appreciate that. Is that VTA G98? Thank you so much for coming on. Oh, I know. I appreciate it. Any criticism helps. Any criticism helps. And one good thing about transformation is if you believe everything. I'm going. Thank you, LJ. Trina, they said we got to pick up the pace. But any criticism, it works. So if it's something that you feel like I'm not doing, then I'll we'll get it going. Good morning, Fang. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you so much, Reactor. Yes, we're trying to get it in this morning, and I am going to stay focused. We're not going to let any negativity bring us down, and that's a part of it. It used to be years ago that something like that would mess up my day, but the fact that you put a comment on there really helps the page, so I truly appreciate you. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate you, Fang. I really do. I will stay motivated. And yes, I try to keep these streams going. We're excited this morning. We're out here 2.3 miles that we're going to do. My wife and I decided years ago that we wanted to try something different. So we've been camping and living in a tent out here at the state park for 3 years now. And like I tell everybody, state parks here, they'll let you stay out 14 days. You have to leave for 24 and come back. But that's been our life-changing things. And this has just been, they're out here. Coyotes are definitely out here, but they're so small. I don't think I've never heard anybody have any bad interactions with the coyotes. Yeah, we tried something new, and it had its challenges. We had to learn how to fit the tent out when it got cold. And, we found out when it's cold, the smaller the tent, the better. When it's hot, the bigger the tent is better. But as a person who was in law enforcement for a while, a person who, been on both sides of the law, this has been a life changer. I've met so many people out here. Okay, thank you for coming. I got my the Squid 90. I'm working on my hunting license now. But I was telling someone yesterday, I've got certified here with Texas Parks and Wildlife as an angler instructor. And so that's been really, back in the 90s, I used to be a police officer. And so, do some weird things that happen. I was on both sides of the law. And so that's why I'm doing these transformation talks, because I like to show people that no matter where you are in life, there's an opportunity for change. There's an opportunity. So if you notice my profile picture, it shows me as a deputy sheriff. It shows some jail bars, and then it shows me where I am today as a person who was told my life was over. Yeah, I bet you was corrupt. No, you have to see the whole story. And so it's a sad situation where a lot of officers get caught up in some foolishness that's not of their own. But, it never was corrupt. But, it makes sense. That would definitely make sense. I like coyote. Aren't you looking for one? Looking for one? No. At night, we can hear them. Thanks for coming back. At night, we can hear them. We can hear them out here, there. Yeah, what we worry about more is the skunks and the raccoons that come tear up your trash. So you definitely got to hang your trash up pretty high because those skunks. I never thought the skunks would come tear up your trash, but yeah, they come through. It's a family of them. We had about 6 skunks. I think it was maybe 7. It was 10. Yeah, we had a mother, and it seemed like she brought the whole family with her. And so I got video of them. But when they started heading my way, of course, I knew it was time to move on. But they came up to our tent at night. They were scratching on the tent because we had food on the inside. And I pray one day I do. That's really what I'm hoping to build this channel. But I tell you what, I thank y'all for the support. This is the most interaction I've had. Of course, I don't mind. Not everybody's going to like your content, so a few people were saying things. But that's part of the game. I don't know where people believe that people are going to like everything they do. That somebody who's been on this planet for 53 years, I understand both good and bad. I'm here in Texas at the state park. We have a nice size tent out here. But yeah, us going back to the story. I like to encourage people because people like to give up. But I can tell people it's understanding they would give up. I was a person who gave up myself. But life has offered me so many opportunities. I went from one situation to now I'm living in a tent. Yes, the state parks don't allow you to stay full time. You have to stay 14 days and then you leave for 24 hours and you come back. So usually we'll go get a hotel room for 24 hours, come back. Even though I'm an employee, I'm a supervisor here with the state parks. We don't stay out here for free. And we have to follow the same rules as everyone else. And so, but my office is here. And so this is a great situation for me because I love hiking. I love state parks. This is a dream job. I've been on this job for probably like 15 months. And I'm still like amazed that I got hired to supervisor role and really excited. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's it's a park. I have video where my wife was walking out, and I hated that I doubted her because she was right. She called back from 10. She said, "Coy, there's a rattlesnake out here." And all the time we had been here, I'd never seen one. So I just blew it off like, yeah, right. That's probably a rat snake or something. And so I came out, and by golly, she's slowing down, y'all. Y'all see her? By golly, it was a rattlesnake. I know y'all saying by golly, he must be country, but no, really, there was a rattlesnake down there. And so here I am trying to be a influencer and YouTuber. I'm recording the thing. And so I have a broom and I accidentally flipped it over. And then, I don't know if you've seen the bottom of a rattlesnake, you don't see the patterns on the bottom. And so when I did that in the dark, y'all know what's next. I couldn't find it. So eventually I ended up finding it. Look back at my video, and I don't know if this is a testimony of me just being lucky, blessed, or whatever, but I looked back at the video and then realized it was right between my legs the whole time. And it was a crazy time, and it wasn't a large one. It was a small one, But most people who know rattlesnake culture or rattlesnake, about the rattlesnake, is that they're probably considered more dangerous because they can't control their venom. And so they usually end up giving you the full dose of what they're trying to give you versus older one that's just really trying to get away most times, unless it's trying to hunt for something. It feels pretty, well, we've learned little tricks. You know, it gets really hot. So what we'll do is we'll get a tarp, cover the tent with a tarp. Now, the good thing about it here, you can have the areas where there's no power, but most of the time, majority of the time, we're at the sites that you can plug up something and then it comes with a water spigot. And so you can plug up, matter of fact, it's over that side, if y'all can see way over there. You can plug up some water. So a lot of times we'll have a fan blowing, but I think the biggest thing that helps is having that tarp to block some of that Texas sun. Or if you're fast enough and strategic enough, you get a campsite that has a lot of canopy trees, and we really just up under there. So it's really become, it took 3 years for us to learn. We struggled because we were out here, I think during Snowmageddon we were here, or the following year when our tent was completely covered with snow. But my wife had 2 heaters and a heater blanket. I was looking forward to going outside. Fishing shirts. Minnow wind fishing shirts. I'm not sure about fishing shirts. We do fishing out here. I'm a fishing instructor for Texas Parks and Wildlife. And there's some definitely fishing out here now. In Florida, I was successful. Oh, blocks the sun. Oh, let me screenshot this. Fishing shirts blocks the sun. Okay. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because I know my wife is sometimes looking for a place, even though this is her idea. But if I can stay here for another year, I'll be fine. Because I love staying out here. Of course, you know, we have the ability to go get a place, but I don't really see myself outside of this. I lived in the cities. I lived in Dallas for a while. I have an office here, Cedar Hill, and an office in Austin. I see that enough. I see the city enough. All right, lots of 30 SPM. Okay. I gotta learn this one because we're always looking for tips. You know, we just pretty much learned how to take the tarps and use them to block some of the wind and some of the tents we've had, because you can get a tent that is not as insulated. And I tell you, when that wind cuts through, and we've been having some bad wind here in DFW. Oh, I do. I love nature. And see, I'll tell y'all an interesting story. I started with Texas Parks and Wildlife in August of last year. And my job allows me, I cover the entire state of Texas. So before I started this job, I had only been to one state park. Within 12 months of being in this job, I've already been to 38 state parks. And I can tell you some of the parks like Devil's River, Possum Kingdom, and some of these other places where they're dark sky parks, especially Devil's River, and you're up in David, it seems like they're so close. I mean, really, Devil's River's in the mountains. And you got to understand, I had never seen half of this stuff. And to get out and see the McDonald Observatory, to see Devil's River and swim in rivers that people are not able to get into, pretty much, we're going to go the whole way. from people. That's only the one side is just for state park people, and I'm telling you, it was so. And the crazy story is, I had just started day 3, and they were like, "Oh, we're on a 2-week training, and so we'll be traveling." It was almost an 8-hour drive, and I get there, and this Devil's River place. I didn't have no clue what Devil's River was. And I'm like, left there. We went to Balmoral. If anybody's familiar with Balmoral, couldn't believe it. It's like, I asked them. I said, "Is this a real job?" "Yes." "I got to see that, Greg." "Yeah." I asked some people. I said, "Is this a real job?" Like, we're at the McDonald's Observatory, seeing all these big old telescopes, and it just was a dream come true. Ever since in the 70s, when I went to this place in Howard Hills. If anybody's from Florida, you know what Howard Hills is. They had a planetarium. And from that time, I always was attracted to the stars sitting in that planetarium. And to grow up, to get paid to go learn at a large planetarium. Okay, the scenic overlook, Plum Valley. So I think we're supposed to go to the left here. I think. Yeah. Primitive camping, trailhead, y'all. So last time when I first started this job, they needed volunteers to help do as a trail guide. And I was the trail guide, had almost 30 people with me, and they didn't really explain to me the directions. And so when I finally came out, I came out by this bathroom to the road, and it just so happened somebody who was in the hike with me came whisper me, "You missed your turn way back there." And so it just so happened we were at the bathroom, and people were like, "Oh, thanks. We got to use the bathroom." So I played it off as if it was intentional. And so we had to turn around and come back. But it worked out perfectly. And I've taken tons of pictures in my life. One of my favorite pictures is from that scenic look that we just passed. And all those people wanted to take a picture with me as their guide. And that's one of my favorite all-time pictures. I'm here at Ferry School. I'm here at Cedar Hill State Park. We're at the Talala Trail. This trail is 2.3 miles. And I love it. This is the first time in a while that my wife and I, who are trying to start our weight loss goals before the ball drops, which we're trying to start now. This is the first time we're going to try to do this full trail with 2 years now? 1 year?
About a year.
And this is the first time we're doing it without a hike trail. So yeah, it's really cold. Yesterday was truly cold. I left early in the morning. It was 32, 34. But if I'm going to preach and speak about transformation and consistency, I have to get out here myself, whether I gotta get used to the cold or not. This is major transformation for me. And I'm seeing a lot of droppings out here, and it looks brand new. So whatever it is that's doing that, it's not that far. So yeah, so thank y'all for joining me. I really appreciate the love. I've seen hearts. This is not anything what is that? Right here on this, can y'all see that?
Oh, it's a shell.
I don't know if it's a shell. I don't know what that is. I can't really.
It's
That's for them bugs. That's like a centipede or I don't know what it is. My light is not allowing me to see it, but I know some of y'all out here may know what that. But yeah, we're here. She's really interested in, she leave me.
So I like them.
Okay. All right. A few days of Christmas, and it's literally like 80 something today. Yeah, it's so crazy here. I think I ended up getting sick because around Christmas, yeah, it was 84 degrees here at the state park. And the next thing you know, a couple of days later, it was freezing. And I tell y'all what, I'm 53 now, and I had never been on a vacation in my life. I finally took a vacation maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And because of this crazy weather, the first day, which was Monday, I took a vacation from Monday to Sunday. The first day, I was great. This weather kicked my butt. From Tuesday to Sunday, I was in the bed sick. And so when I had to be at another state park for wilderness outdoors certification training. And
That's the scenic overlook.
yeah, I didn't even know they opened the primitive camping back here now. Might want to check that out a little bit later. About the time I got back to work for wilderness outdoor training at Bastrop State Park was the first time I had gotten out of the bed. And I was like, what a joyous first time in 53 years vacation. But hey, y'all, I'm still alive, so I don't know if this is 2-3. This don't seem like 2.3 miles. Maybe it looks like we're done and we're not. We still got a ways to go. Oh yeah, we still got to go way back over there. So I'm thinking we're going to the front.
Oh, pacing ourselves, so we don't have to speed up.
No, we're doing good. I'm not, I know my breath sounds it's betraying me, but I'm not as tired as I thought I would be. And so, y'all, this is going to be my regular thing. Now, they have a trail out here that I think it's broken down into 3 miles, 6 miles, and 9 miles. So, last time I did that was I was in the Marines. Was at Camp Lejeune, or was at Paris Island. That was. No, thank you for joining. No, I really appreciate you. Thanks for the love. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully we see you again pretty soon. Join us walking, and that breakfast is important. So I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming by, everybody. This is so inspiring. And so I'm glad to be on here with you all and you joining us, whoever's still here, for joining us on this hike as we do these 2.3 miles. If you're still here, when we get back, then you'll be able to see where our tent is and where we've been staying off and on for the last 3 years.
Today's our 14th.
Yeah, we have to leave. Today is our 14th day, so we have to pack up today anyways. So I'll probably do live of us packing down, and then I'll come back another day and do a pack. As we set our tents back up. We try to be, as minimal as possible. Sometimes my wife like to bring extra stuff, but she's getting there, and that way it's easy to set up and it's easy to take down. We don't have to do too much. But we're almost there. We're getting there. The grandkids was out here with us for maybe 2 months, and so it was a lot of packing, a lot of food, they still want their toys and all that type of stuff, and then some nights they don't want to leave sleeping there. They want hours, so we had to bring extra stuff in. But now they're at their place, we're back down to really not much. Slay, thanks for coming back. Yes, we're chugging along. We're gonna get back to that tent. If whoever's with us, I would love for you to see the tent. I appreciate all the likes and loves and the interaction. This is a lifestyle journey for us, and so this is my goal, to do this every day. Now this is a part I don't remember, but this is a nice little bridge. For some reason, I love bridges. I am a bridge fan, and this is a nice little bridge. It looks kind of like you need a little bit of work done to it, but hey, as long as we can get across. Nice view. This is day 5 of hiking. So we literally tried not to, our goal was not to wait till New Year to start trying to lose this weight. You know, I put on so many pounds, and I can tell because my knees are not hurting now. At some point in time, I was here before, so overweight, and my breathing sounded horrible. I can hear that again. Blood pressure is probably out of the ceiling. You know, before I was 250 pounds and I started walking again. My wife made me this tea, which was a lemon honey, apple cider vinegar, and all this different stuff she had in there. And I went from 250 pounds to like 180. And during that time, the doctors who had me on diabetes medicine, they had me on cholesterol medicine. I'm not giving any advice. I'm just telling you what happened to me. I was on 4 different medicines, and they thought I was taking them. They didn't realize I had stopped taking them for a year because the stuff that my wife was giving me was working so well. And let me tell y'all, when I get to the hospital, the doctor's like, you know what? This is what happens when people take their medicine. I said, hey, doc, I've been stopped taking that. This come from my wife. Do y'all know that doctor said, man, I need to share this recipe with my mom. And he called 3 other nurses in there to the room and had me call my wife on the phone and share the tea recipe with them. I'm looking like, wait a minute. Thousands of dollars later, y'all want to sit here and, you know, it was a privilege and honor. And so literally they took me off everything. Now, if I went back out of my laziness, if I went back, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have a fresh start. I didn't want to wait. I think I did the analogy earlier about before you can cook Thanksgiving dinner or a big dinner, it's good to have all your stuff in place so when Thanksgiving comes and it's time for you to make the dinner, it's already ready. And that's the mindset we're taking now. If we're going to get healthy in the New Year's, what's better than to prepare right now? And so that's why we're out here. And I thought we was getting close to the front, and I see how they did that. They just made a whole nother little turnabout. I can see the other piece right here. So where I thought we was close to the front, we just undid a whole nother circle. You still happy about this 2.3 miles, Trina?
I'm very happy.
Oh, okay. Well, she says she's doing good, so it's not like we can turn around. We turn around, it might make it longer.
No turning back now.
Oh, she said no turning back. I'll take it. Yeah, I think, and then, like I said, when we get back to the tent, there's no lay down and rest. We have to pack down and get ready to move out because this has been our 14th day. And, you know, my goal is to one day open my own campground. It'd be so great to get a nice tent and don't have to move. That'd be, I could say, probably be the only thing that I don't care for too much, to having to pack up. So I'm doing now to increase my chances of, yeah, we are to the front.
Oh, wow.
Come on. You know somebody can talk when they,
You were used to going the other way.
somebody can talk so much, they're gonna talk myself all the way to the front and didn't even realize it. So we probably got another quarter of a mile to go to get back to our tent. But that was 2 miles. Wow. Y'all talked us through 2 miles. Thank you. But yeah, my goal is to open my own campground, and really for people who've gone through trauma, who've had, you know, suffering from PTSD. You know, I met a lot of people think about military. I met a lot of former police officers and former fire officers. I've met a whole bunch of them out here, and they come out and fish. They come out and camp just so that, you know, they're struggling. They're struggling. I got to try to make it back quick because my battery, I didn't realize my battery was dying. All right, so we got to, in order to show them the tent training, we got to stack it up a little. We got to pick it up just a tad. I only got 18 left on my phone, which is weird because I got it plugged up, so that means my battery source.
Probably need to open up the computer and close the battery.
Yeah, as soon as I get down to maybe like 15%, I'll try to see what. But yeah, that's the goal. So I've gotten a lot of training. I've got wilderness outdoor training, well, wilderness first aid training. I'm angler certified. I've taken management training for state parks. I've taken interpretive training. So interpretation is where you teach different things. I happen to teach history that involves nature here at the state park. So I run the Buffalo Soldiers program for the state parks. And we pretty much teach of how the Buffalo Soldiers relationship to the state of Texas, but even we relate it to how they would have done things in or near Texas state parks. And so that makes me a historian and his history interpreter. And so it's a great job. I really love it. Actually texting someone else. So thank y'all for staying with me. Let's see. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm having to respond to an employee. Safety training. Well, okay, I'm back. Sorry, y'all. We're almost there. I got 12%, and we'll see how far we get in that 12%. Getting close to the tent, and I might have to stop for a second, open up this battery pack to get some more juice. But so far, we're looking good. We stay over in that direction there. We stay that way. And so yeah, we're almost back. Yeah, it's starting to warm up a little bit. My hand's still freezing. Oh, could you hold this? Let me see if I can get this battery pack out. So I want everybody to see the tent here. And so I don't want to mess this up. Carry my backpack, and as you see in my backpack, since I'm wilderness first aid certified, I make sure I got all my gear. You know, I'm sure nothing's gonna happen, but I'm just excited to say that I'm so excited for that. So I'm just willing to help. I mean, I really couldn't believe I was in this class. You know, I got accepted to be in the class, and then they were asking me to be an instructor. And y'all can imagine I was like a kid in the candy store, like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I can actually come out here and teach people wilderness first aid? Because I'm already was certified first aid and CPR, but then you tell me I could come out and I can help train people on wilderness first aid. Man, y'all can imagine I'm sitting in front of the class. I think if I can share some pictures on one of my posts, I'll show you the pictures. Man, I was like a kid in a candy store, and you know, teaching how to help out here, and some days might be able to help with game wardens, state park police, rescues, and people who get lost. You know, that's that. I love giving back to that. You know, I was there at some point in my life, but then I get to enjoy a little piece of that. And I also joined Dallas County Medical Reserve Corps, where, you know, prepare for situations that happen here. Then I joined Dallas CERT. And it's part of, it's anybody can join. I'm not saying anything that makes me some kind of special. Dallas CERT is a certified emergency response team. And it's just like a neighborhood volunteer response things. So if things happen, they can call on you and they keep you trained. They have different scenarios, airplane crashes, any kind of disaster. It's a lot of good training for people who's interested in that type of thing. There's all kinds of great trainings that you can get. And so I have FEMA trainings. So it's my way of giving back. You know, it's volunteer for me. Except when I'm on working at state park. So, but what a dream job. You know, I'm trying to get as many licenses as possible. And then my prayer, my goal is, and we're almost back, y'all. My prayer, my goal is to become a chaplain and be able to help, whether I'm still at state parks or not, help during when they have situations, and not that I'm looking for situations to happen, but things happen, that I could be there to help give support as a chaplain. And so those are some goals that I have in mind. Been taking all kind of trainings. We might make it back under an hour. Man, that's the entire hour. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. Had to stop back there and get my battery back charged. But yeah, we're close. I can start seeing some of the campsites now. We had a little wind come through last night and knocked some things over. So a lot of people got stuff all over their campgrounds. We got a little bit of ours too, so not judging them. Man, that's great seeing a hawk out here like that. But in my eyes, I couldn't tell if it was a coyote sitting up looking at us, a jackrabbit. We don't even have jackrabbits. I was seeing things. All right. Subscribe. Here we go. I think this is the last bridge before we make it back. As I told y'all, I'm a bridge fanatic. All right, so now that we did Talala, we gotta get prepared for Dobra, which is an acronym for, I think, like Dallas Organization, something Bikers Association. You know, Dallas something Bikers Association. They have a huge trail back over in that area. And yeah, we're almost there. Yeah, I hear some people over there. Just thank y'all. We were way over in that area. I gotta find that video clip of that hawk that just came in, was relaxing on the bridge. All right, y'all, we're almost back to our tent. Those who's just joining us, that's our tent over there where we've been off and on for 3 years. Majority of the 3 years we've been in a tent. Some days, of course, we had to go to a hotel, whether it's a bad storm or maybe the snow has gotten too bad. We had the grandkids, so we had to move out some to make sure they're a little bit comfortable. But thank you all who stayed with us the entire. We could have done this in an hour. I know some of y'all saying 2.3 miles in an hour. That's a long time. Hey y'all, this is a good transformative opportunity for us, and so we're thankful. So we're getting ready to close it out. I hope to see some of y'all tomorrow. I might try a new trail. Look at here, y'all. We're at Talala Trail and head to. If we went straight, we'd go to Penn Farms, but our tent is in this little trail here that we're gonna walk down. Whew, we did it. And I think I was making it more intimidating than it actually should have been. So now today since we've been out here 14 days already, state parks, you're allowed to stay 14 days, you have to leave and come back after 24 hours. Today is our 14th day, so we're getting ready to pack down. And I'm still gonna do a hike. It may not be out here tomorrow, but maybe I'll take y'all and let y'all see my office tomorrow too. But here we are. Like I said, the wind kind of blew out some stuff. This is where We've been staying for 3 years. Campsite. Give y'all a little tour of campsite. Of course, you have a table, and you have. I'm gonna show you what. This is how we've been keeping warm. We just put a tarp over our tent, and then y'all see my truck and my van, and then the sites come with water, and then you get a power box. And so we just run an extension cord to our campsite, and gives us power. We hang up lights sometimes, so it's not completely dark out here. And then we just lift up the tarp here, zipper us up under there, and there's a tent up under there somewhere, and that's where we've been. Good morning, Sonora. Yeah, this has been a really cool situation. So thank y'all for staying with us. It took us up under an hour for our weight loss goals here. Trina's back there. So thank y'all. I'm in my 50s, trying to get my body back right. I got some extra neck and a lot of stomach that I want to get rid of in New Year's. We felt like, why not start now? And so I pray everybody have a great day. I pray everybody has great New Year's, safe, and look forward to seeing some of you all tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to grow this transformation page, and I think I'll be able to do it with everybody I'm meeting now. So thank you all. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Appreciate you. See you later. See you soon. Put it that way. See you soon.